Hey
Hey,
Jessica, how are you?
again, how are you? Hold on, let me turn this video on.
I'm gonna turn my sound louder. That's great. Um, Perfect.
Okay.
I can hear you. I can see you.
Great. Oh, sorry, it's a little dark where I
That's
am.
okay.
Let
That's
me
not a
have the light.
problem. What time is it there? 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock?
It's 8 o'clock.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Good
Well,
to meet you finally,
I
Riley. Thank you
know.
so much for being so patient with me.
Oh my
Oh my,
goodness. No, that's completely fine. You, I really appreciate you making the time to come on the show, and the fans are just happy that you're here. So that's amazing. That's really really cool. Did you have a good day? A busy day?
I did have a good and very busy day, but yeah, doing good. It's been a very good day. How about yourself?
Yeah, very good. It's 1 p.m. But it's a beautiful day here in New Zealand. And have you ever been to New Zealand before?
I haven't been to that part of the world before anywhere. Yeah.
We need to get you here for the expo. To be honest, we need to.
Yes.
Do you do a bunch of conventions over there in America?
I really don't. I did. They're kind of few and far between for me. I have an agent, but I think she handles a lot of people that are a little bigger than me. So I think they and I have a pretty heavy teaching schedule, so I think it's hard to
Mm,
work around. But I do a few a year usually. Yeah, I would
cool.
love to do more. So I
Well,
would freaking love to come to New Zealand. That's for sure.
yeah, well, it'd be a great trip. We love it here. I'm from South Africa originally, and my wife is from Scotland, so we've got a combination of weird accents. But no, it's a glorious place to live. And so you said you're a teacher. What type of teacher are you?
Well, I work at a children's theater, and this is kind of a new development for me. I moved, it was the COVID thing. I moved back to my hometown after a series of events, and I came here just to guest direct at the children's theater where I grew up, and it's definitely the place where I got my start in terms of just learning the just building the foundation for acting and everything. And I was here from the time I was 12 till the time I graduated high school. So just all my formative years, were like in this building. And so I came back to guest direct for them last spring, Little Women. And I adapted the book myself and directed it. And it was just like the best experience I'd had in years in terms of just feeling joy. And, like in 2021, like we all really needed that. It just felt like this magical thing. So they asked me to come back and consider heading up their acting department. And I had to think about it for about 5 seconds and was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do it. Like, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. I gave up financial things. I had built a career in Dallas, but I'm doing theater and doing anime, of course. But I don't know. My heart was just like, nope, go, 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 go.
Mm,
So I did. And here I am. I am leading the acting department at Young Actors Theater in Tallahassee, Florida. So
that's
never
awesome.
would have foreseen that for myself, but it's like the best time I've had in forever. Yeah. I love it.
That's so cool. And like I said, like you said, you're happier now, and that's all that matters really is happiness. You're really enjoying it. So that's amazing. You must get a lot of must be quite a
Yeah.
rewarding job as well.
It is. And I think I what I was doing for years prior was so kind of isolated, because I was a staff writer for Funimation. That's definitely a very, you're by yourself kind of job. And then of course voice acting, you're in alone in a booth.
Hmm.
And so it had just been a while. I mean, theater hadn't happened for a while for me because of COVID and everything. And so it had just been a minute since I'd been in the presence of other people, first of all, but then also just everything. Yeah, it's a very giving type of job. I'm constantly giving, and instead of being so self-reflective as an actor, it can start to feel very narcissistic.
Mm.
um, and so, yeah, it's just been really cool to be able to kind of throw the focus on these kids, and yeah, they just fill me up. Like it fills me up in a way that I hadn't really felt for a while. I love acting, I really do, but I don't know, this just feels like what I'm meant to be doing, at least for right now.
That's
So
fantastic. I love that. We run a swim school here in New Zealand, and I teach kids guitar and a couple of other things. And being a teacher is just such a rewarding job, even though it can be definitely challenging. It can be definitely rewarding as well. Um,
yes,
yeah.
yes, indeed. Yes. You know, what's interesting that I found that the other adults involved and the parents and stuff like that are actually way more challenging to me than the kids ever are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what's been consistent for me is just like the children never let me down in terms of what I get back from them. It's just the like kind of red tape and stuff that can get in the way sometimes. But so far, I love it.
100%. I completely agree. Children just they don't play any games as much. They don't hide their feelings. They're truthful and they tell you the honest truth, whether it's good or bad. But that's cool. That's really, you must
Yes.
inspire so many wonderful people. And your students that you have, do they know your
Mhm.
characters?
Some of them do. So when I first came to guest direct, some of them freaked out. But I mean, it was like kind of just a handful of them. These are theater kids, I think they're geeks in like a whole different way
Mm-hmm,
for the
mm-hmm,
most part. But there are definitely, and I think there are more than I realize because some of them are like, oh yeah, well, we just don't talk about it in front of you because we just want to be cool. And I'm like,
mm-hmm.
oh. But no, there were a few that were like, oh my God, and they wanted me to like sign their programs and stuff afterwards for the show that I directed. And yeah, but for the most part, it just doesn't really come up that much while I'm here. Every once in a while, a kid will be like, "Oh my God, I'm watching Attack on Titan," or "Oh my God, I'm watching Fairy Tale," and blah, blah. So that's fun. But being here feels kind of far removed from all of that, which is a
Mm.
really just interesting place to be. So I do love going to a convention because, of course, it's just great to be back in that world and around people who know that work and know the shows and everything. So it's fun to kind of have a bit of both.
Mm. Yeah, it's good to have two different worlds. I've spoken to a couple of people recently. The voice of Jimbei, Daniel Bao, and he's in a similar mindset. He likes to have separating the worlds a little bit, and he loves being in it, but he also likes people the not knowing he's the voice of Jimbei, in some ways. Um,
Yeah.
so no, you do such an incredible job. You're very very talented at what you do, and you obviously have a passion and love what you do. Um, Now, did theatre begin your journey, or did you do voice acting to start?
No, theater was definitely the beginning for me. I mean, I started acting on stage when I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then did it. I lived in a different city in Florida, and then moved here and did it all through high school, and then acted professionally on stage in Dallas, and that's where I met Ian Sinclair, who well, we were in a show together. We were actually dating for at the time. He's a great guy. We love each other. That's the he's wonderful. But it was like, gosh, it was 2010,
Mm-hmm.
and he was directing Black Butler, and he needed someone for Paula, the role that I ended up having, because he lost an actor kind of at the last minute, and he knew that I could do dialects because that was such a specific show for anime. It's so rare that you need actors that can do specific dialects for
Mm-hmm.
anime. I mean, there are definitely some that you do, but anyway, so he had me come in, and I literally didn't know what anime was. Like, that is how removed I was. Like, he had to just show me some episodes, and I was like, what is happening? Like, why are they tiny now? Like, what is going on with their voice now? Like, what's happening? Like, what is that thing in the air? I mean, it just was totally foreign. And at first I was pretty intimidated by the whole thing. Like, I'd never been in a booth before, but he kind of coached me a little bit, and then I went in and did like the audition and got it on the spot, and recorded it. And but I had no idea like how lucky I was at the time. I was like, well, that was a cool gig. I mean, it pays by the hour. And I didn't know,
Mm.
like what went along with it. So I just, looking back, I recognize how incredibly fortunate I was, like right place, right time type of situation, just to get involved in the industry. Because after Paula happened, after Black Butler happened, it's like kind of like once you're in the door over there, it's a lot easier to get invited back, obviously. And then I just kept getting invited back for auditions, and like the rest is history. But I know how many people really want to do this work, and I feel kind of like a jerk being like, oh yeah, I didn't even know what it was, but it's true. I didn't know. And so I feel really, really fortunate to have met Ian, and to
Mm.
have been introduced to this entire world.
Oh, he's fantastic, Ian. Yeah, no, he's very very talented at what he does. But that's great. That's such a cool story. You didn't know what. A lot of people in my town think anime is a type of sushi. So, it basically it's on the same level. But I'm glad that you're in the world because you've added so many wonderful voices to beautiful characters. So who's your most recent character played? Has that been Inko Midoriya? Is that the most recent, or you've got stuff you can't talk about, obviously?
Oh no, actually, I mean that is probably my most recent in terms of what I've recorded recently, because since I moved to Florida, I don't get to do much
Mhm.
recording for Funimation. They want everyone in town in Dallas. So that was something I knew I'd be giving up if I came here, which was why it was kind of a big deal.
Mm.
So, but I've been lucky when Inko came up again. I was really afraid they were going to recast it. I really was like, that's kind of what they implied. So I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna call that bluff. Moved here, and they did call me in. I'm very lucky. They called me in, and not to Dallas. They arranged, to do it remotely at a studio here in Tallahassee. And so that's the last thing I recorded, was that latest episode. I mean, that latest season of My Hero, that last episode she was in. I mean, prior to that, I think it was Black Clover, probably.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but yeah, so it has been a minute. I've been in a booth recording a new character. It has really been a minute. So, but never say never. I feel like I'll be doing it again at some point. So
Oh, heck yeah, for sure. Well, and your social media is incredible. I mean, a lot of social medias, a lot of voice actors, um, that you see the same thing over and over again. Of I'm at this convention, come see me here, and it gets
I
repetitive and boring now and again. Not for everyone, but you have these wonderful ideas, these chats with your characters, and I really really like it. Do you put a lot of effort into your social media? Obviously.
I do. It comes and goes in waves, though, depending on how busy I am.
Mm,
But I really wanted to go on the convention circuit more heavily, once I moved here, just to kind of keep that in my life. And I knew that, so many times now they'll only bring you out if you have a really healthy social media following. Like, they
mm,
really do look at that.
mm,
And I knew that my Instagram was not great. I just never put a lot of effort in before. And so I started looking at TikTok, and I had the idea during COVID, during the lockdown, um, to do the affirmations with Inko, and I just never made it happen. I struggled with mental health a lot, like I'm sure a lot of us did during that time, and I just could never get it together. But I brought up the idea to a friend of mine who was like, she's great at TikTok, and she's young. She could be my daughter, but she works here at the theater with me, and she's got her own wonderful TikTok channel. And I was like, hey, could you help me, boost my TikTok a little bit? And so she's actually the wizard behind like putting all that stuff together. She'll come in, every couple of weeks and be like, okay, I think we should do this. I think we should look at this trend. And I think we should do this. And I'll be like, right on, right on, right on. And she kind of directs me. And then she's the one who edits all together so beautifully like that. So she's been amazing, in my life. Her name is Piper. Thank you, Piper. And when she was the one who told me, because she was even handling the TikTok account at first, and she was like, someone wants you to be on their podcast. It's really good. So, um, yeah, so she's kind of the reason that I have that presence there. I mean, some of the ideas are mine, but all the affirmation stuff is mine, but everything else is kind of her. So I have to give, got to give this younger generation the props that are due, because I don't know what I'm doing out there. Like,
The affirmations are so special, and they really make you feel calm. I've saved a few, and I just listen to it now and again when you're having a stressful day. You've got such a calming, lovely voice. Have you done any audiobooks or anything like that?
I haven't, but I have a friend who, like, that's what she does, and I keep meaning to get with her because I would love to do that.
Hmm.
I would just love that. I think I'd be decent at it. So, yeah, so many things that I'm like, oh, I'd love to have time to do that. So
No.
hopefully sometime.
Ah,
And
I
thank
know it.
you for that. That
No,
I'm glad
it's
to know.
wonderful. It's what it works. It really does work. The affirmations for sure. I was Veronica Taylor. I was talking to her a while back. The voice of Ash Ketchum, the original voice, and she does a few audiobooks. But I told her she needs to get into ASMR. Do you know what ASMR is?
I do. Yes.
That's a
Yes.
similar
Mhm.
thing. She didn't know what it was at all, but since then she started a podcast, and
Oh,
it's
interesting.
become quite popular. So it's yeah, you've got a voice that a lot of people would listen to. But you're right, it all takes time, and it's about finding that time.
It is. It
Mhm.
is.
Um, could you potentially give us an affirmation right now, an improv affirmation, and maybe you can make it obviously in Inko Midoriya's voice, but um, yeah, could you potentially just make it out to just everyone listening to the Anime Dad podcast? Could you do that for me?
Of course I can. Of course I can. Let me think. Hi, my friends. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here with me tonight. It took me a while to get here. Oh my goodness. But I just want to say, you make everything worth it. You being you makes everything worth it. And the people in your life that love you, you make their life worth it. You are worth it.
Perfect. That was lovely. That was so beautiful. It's definitely calming. I'm in my calm place, my happy place right now. Now, how do you go from that to Dadan? Like your voice range. How does that
Oh,
happen?
so fun. I cannot tell you how excited I was when Joel cast me as that role, like, because I never got to do stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, like, I got in the booth and he was like, "What kind of, like, large woman growly thing can you do?" We just started playing, and then suddenly she just came out, and then she kind of seemed like she might be from New Jersey sometimes, like, I don't know why, but sometimes she goes there, and like, I don't know. We just had so much fun putting her together, and I just remember laughing so much in the booth the whole time.
Oh,
So
she's a
yeah,
fun
just lots
character
of
to
fun. And
watch.
yeah, she's the best. And yeah, I could definitely only record her for like an hour at a time though, because she's like really hot on the voice, because she's like right here, so it like hurts. But but yeah, she brings me much joy. I love
Oh,
her.
all right. Well, could you in her voice give us just say your name and the Don, and that you're going to be king of the pirates. She's decided to become a pirate, let's say, and she's going to take out Luffy and become king of the pirates.
All right, all right, all right, everybody, I'm here. Luffy's out. The Don in, king of the pirates. Put it right here. You got a problem with it? Get off this boat.
That, that's
I
so
don't know.
different to your real voice. That would have been so much fun to sort out. But wow, that's great. That you've got a lot of range.
Thanks. Yeah, that's theater training,
Mm.
like it trains us to be a little bit crazy and to access all different areas of our psyches and our vocal patterns and stuff. So yeah, I feel lucky that I had the training that I had that prepared me to be able to go in a booth and to play like that, you know?
Mm. It's incredible. It's really, really good. Okay, well, I've got some questions from. It's called a quick fire questions, just to finish off the interview, really. But it's 10 quick fire questions. I ask random questions for the fans to get to know you a bit more, and you answer them straight away from the top of your head. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. What is your favorite color?
Green.
Perfect. What's your favorite food?
Pizza.
If you were a type of insect, what insect would you be and why?
Oh my God. I don't know. The first thing that came to my head was an ant, and that's a terrible answer, but that's what came to my head. I guess I'd be a little worker ant. I don't know.
Ants are good, or a queen ant if there is such a thing as a queen ant, I think.
Like I don't know what's wrong with me. I didn't think of anything cool. There are some ladybugs. There are all kinds of fun things, and I'm like, I'm being an ant.
They're strong. They're very strong creatures. All right, the next one is if let's say, what's your favorite town that you visited in the world?
Oh gosh, that's so hard. But
Mm.
maybe Dublin,
Oh,
Ireland. Um,
beautiful.
really, really love. Yeah, really love Dublin. I don't know. There's so many great places, but yeah,
Dublin's a good one. Dublin's a really good one. What's a show that you remember growing up that you used to watch?
Family Ties.
I like it. All right.
That was with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, that was a good
His
one.
big, yeah. Anyway,
If you could, if you go on a desert island, what would be, and you could only take one thing with you, what would it be?
okay. I need some parameters. So is like, do I is food taken care of? Like, should I be
So,
bringing a pizza to this island? Like,
food. Let's say it can't be food or survival items. It has to be like entertainment based.
okay, okay, gotcha. Uh, uh, I guess like a Kindle,
Oh
so I
yeah,
could read forever. You know,
that's smart.
assuming I have Wi-Fi on the desktop.
Well, you could just stare at it and pretend that you're reading something
And pretend to read.
for ages. Um, if you every time you turn on the TV, only one movie played for the rest of your life, what movie would that be?
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. Who's that by?
David Bowie.
Ah,
It was a musical back in the 80s with David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly when she was a teenager. And it's Jim Henson. There's like lots of crazy Muppets. It's like the most 80s thing you've ever seen in your life, but it's like a comfort movie for me from childhood. My sister and I don't know. Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite musical then that you've seen or not seen?
Oh my gosh. That's hard. Ragtime. Oh, oh, that's okay. Sorry, someone just tried to get in my office. Um, Ragtime the musical. I've seen it.
Ragtime.
I saw the original cast on Broadway, and I wept about 5 times during that show. Also, Hamilton's up there. I saw the original cast of Hamilton from like the fifth row because it was before it got all crazy, and or I could never have afforded that seat.
That would have been
But
amazing.
both of those shows, oh my gosh, it was crazy. I could talk about that all day long. Lin Manuel Miranda made eye contact with me during the rap battle when they're like
Yes.
they're going back and forth in the rap battle. So he and David Diggs would kind of go to opposite sides of the stage. You see it, and they're like kind of getting the crowd like riled up or whatever. Well, I was towards the front, and everywhere around me except for my boyfriend were just like these really old stodgy white people who were not into it, like just very still. And like the guy next to me had his like arms crossed, and I was just like, but I was like totally like being a dork, and I was like like moving around in the seat, and I just caught his eye because I was acting a fool, and he winked at me, And I
That's
like
awesome.
froze and I turned and looked. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I turned and I looked at my boyfriend like, and he was like, "Yes, baby, that was for you. That was yours." And I was just like, "Oh, claim to fame, Lin-Manuel Winky from the stage." Yeah.
Oh, that would be yeah, that's definitely the highlight of the show, and that would have been a tweet and a Facebook post for sure at the time. That's incredible.
Yeah. And I did that. Yeah, I know.
Uh,
Prior to
I
my social media.
I was a my claim to fame is my high school production was Guys and Dolls, and I was Marlon Brando.
Oh,
But we had to throw in a
you were Sky
line.
Masterson?
I was Sky Masterson. Yeah. I'll give you an autograph after this. Um,
Good. I would love one.
and the funny thing was, I couldn't do accents too well. I had a South African accent, and then we had to throw in a line saying, "I've just got back from South Africa, from Cape Town." So for the whole thing. So that's yeah,
That's
that's my little.
amazing.
I know. I still in my glory days. Um, all right, my final question to you, final quick fire question um, would be if you could choose to be an animal for a day, what animal would you be?
Oh, wow.
An ant.
Is that a rooster you just heard?
That was
Did
a
I just
rooster.
hear a rooster?
No, that was just you. That was in your head. I think that was just your own, your mental
Was the universe talking to me? Now
telling
I
you.
feel like I have to say rooster. I don't know. I mean, I was actually thinking it would be something that flies
Yeah.
because I've always felt that I could fly. I cannot, obviously, but like I always have flying dreams. I always feel like, oh, if I could like just like I could just I could fly. Like, I don't know. So something that flies, some kind of bird.
Okay. Well, roosters can get there if you throw them high enough. They can get there eventually. Yeah, I've got like he's right here, this one, but I've got like 60 chickens and a bunch of different,
Oh my
two
gosh.
ponies. We live like in the bush, which is quite cool. And we might actually have
Yeah.
the incredible Conan. Do you know Conan O'Brien?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah. I was on his podcast a couple of weeks ago, um, just for like a
Oh
fan
my
meeting.
God.
Yeah, just for meeting him, and it was so cool. And he's got a new show coming out where he's traveling around the world, visiting different fans, and he definitely he's never been to New Zealand, and he's getting a bit of a push to come here. So he said he's going to
Oh
show
my
up
God.
unannounced, so that'll be amazing.
Incredible. He is so funny. He's like one
Yeah.
of the funniest people to ever walk the planet, I think.
Oh, he's
This
amazing.
must, yeah. How cool. Oh my
I know.
gosh.
So I'm gonna dye my hair orange before he comes, and try to get 20 pounds lighter so I can appear as his doppelganger or something like that. But Jessica, you're amazing. You're so energetic, fun, and your characters are absolutely incredible. And I really, really appreciate you coming on the show. The fans are gonna love it. I'll post it later on today, and yeah, thank you so much. And then New Zealand needs to be on the list, so you can kick Dublin to the side and say
That's right.
New Zealand's the place to be. Dublin can
I mean,
back off.
yeah, Dublin can just chill for a minute while I come over to New Zealand. I would love that so much. Maybe I could start like some kind of online. I'll put Piper on it or start a petition or
Private,
something.
yes. um,
Also to get me
yeah,
Funko Pop. This is my new thing. This is my new rant. Not a single Funko Pop for all of these characters. Like,
that's
what is
true.
happening? Isn't that sad? Yeah. No, why is there no Inko Midoriya? Or Aquarius from Fairy Tale? Those would both be adorable Funkos. Or
Okay.
Dadan. I mean, come on. Come on.
Okay, we'll get that. We'll get that. I'll make that happen. I've got some connection to the Funko Pop world. I'll no, that needs to happen. That needs even if we get a couple of fan made ones in like a 3D printer, um, for the interim, and then
Uh-huh.
you can get some more. Yeah, let's make that happen, fans. If you're listening, get some Funko Pops out there. Email Funko straight away, and get it done.
Yes. I've emailed them numerous times. I think they're sick of hearing it. So it's time for someone else to try. Thank you so much. That would just make my life. I would love that so much.
That's amazing. All right, well, have a beautiful evening, Jessica, and thank you so much. And we'll speak to you soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Reilly.
Bye bye.
Bye.